Hi everyone. Hello. So I thought today we could do a soft spoken video. I rarely ever do these, but I kind of like the velvety sound, if you know what I mean. That some soft-spoken whispers have. And use the soft-spoken voice to tell you kind of a little collection of stories. I want to tell you about some times when I was in pretty much just first and second grade, where I was kind of just a little bit of a menace. I would lie all the time, and I was not afraid of my teachers or adults or authority. And I was just, kind of a little bit of a brat, to be honest. A little bit of a brat. So, without further ado, I'll tell you the very first thing I can remember, which is in first grade. Some backstory. My teacher was kind of the older teacher that was kind of tired of teaching, didn't want to be there anymore, but wasn't quite ready to retire yet. And I feel like everyone else had a really fun teacher that wanted to be there and wanted to create like fun activities for the kids, and their classrooms were full of rainbows and vibrant colors, and they had these fun like daily activities planned that everyone would talk about during lunch and recess, and they got all sorts of little like treats and rewards and fun little games that they did as a class. And my teacher just had the bare room, the exact way that it came. No decorations, no games, no fun, just class. And I honestly felt like I got that teacher every single year of elementary school. I never had the fun teacher, and it kind of made me jealous, honestly. I'm still a little mad about it to this day, but anyways. So this teacher, bless her heart, kind of made it to my bad side, and I decided I did not respect her. I just decided I didn't care about her. And she told us to work on our activities and not to talk. But my friend was sitting next to me, and I can't remember if I started the conversation or my friend started the conversation. It was probably me, but I don't know. So I start talking, and the teacher only gets mad at me. Just me. Not my friend, just me. And she's like, you know what? You have to sit out for 15 minutes out of recess today because I told you not to talk. And I honestly didn't care, because recess to me, like when I was in that grade, I didn't care about it. It didn't really do anything for me. I was like, it's hot outside. The playground's kind of boring. It was covered in wood chips, and it just was uncomfortable to me. I didn't care about it, and I didn't care to tell her that. So I told her, I was like, okay, I don't care. I don't like recess anyway. And so she says, okay, in that case, you can sit the whole thing out. And I said, okay, great, fine by me. I like the air conditioning anyways. And she did not like that, but she couldn't really like take anything else away from me, because it's like, for a kid, you take away recess, and normally that works, but I genuinely just did not like recess, like that specific playground. I did not enjoy it. It didn't do anything for me, and I would rather be inside drawing or something. And so, yeah, I kind of made an enemy out of her at that point, because she just knew that she couldn't take anything away from me that I enjoyed, and if I was sitting out for recess, that meant she had to stay with me, and she couldn't, like, talk to all the other teachers and socialize. She had to, like, babysit me, basically. And so, another reason why I didn't care to sit out, because I knew that my punishment wasn't really a punishment for me, but it kind of was for her. I just didn't like her. But anyways, that was the only incident in first grade that I can really remember. There was another time, and I'm pretty sure it's just second grade from now on, but second grade was definitely the worst. I didn't even have, like, a bad teacher by any means. I didn't have the best one. The best teacher was this one teacher. I can't remember her name anymore, but frogs were her favorite animal, and she just had frogs and green everywhere, and I think she even had a frog in the classroom as, like, the class pet, and it was just so fun to walk in there. And she was so pretty. She had this, like, pretty, like, really long straight blonde hair, and she always wore, like, pink lip gloss, and she was just really pretty. And I don't know, I was just jealous that I wasn't in her class, I guess. But my teacher wasn't bad or anything, she just wasn't her, you know what I mean? But I didn't have anything against her. I was just kind of in my menace era at this point, where I really liked to write little stories, like short stories. We had designated time during class to write the stories, and you had to go up and get them approved by the teacher, and then you could put them in your little folder at the front of the class. And so I would have so many ideas, and I didn't want her to, like, critique them. Like, I didn't want her to, like, change them in any way. So I would write the story, and when she wasn't looking, I would sneak it into my folder without being checked. And so, of course, my folder was overflowing with stories, and I can't really remember if she noticed or if she got mad or if I got in trouble for that, but I kind of think I remember her being on to me about it. But okay, then this is kind of the worst one, where she got really mad at me, and like kind of threw a fit in front of the whole class, and it was the only time I felt a little scared. So in second grade, we all had we had this activity one day to, as a class, create some sort of good to sell, and every class would have their own thing that they would sell, and we would get a certain amount of tickets, and we could buy things with our tickets, and we could take our earnings at the end of the day from what other people bought from us, and we could buy, like, a little toy or something, and, like, you know, like stickers or a little trinket. And we had a moment where we were sitting in a different classroom being told something. I can't really remember what it was, but we were in someone else's room, and so I'm sitting at someone else's desk, and I notice their little cup of tickets, and I didn't think about the consequences. I didn't think about the fact that I was stealing from someone else. I just kind of took them all and put them in my pocket, ticket. And when I got to class, I went to go buy something with my tickets. And my teacher was like, "You have a lot of tickets." And I was like, "Yeah, I was saving them." She's like, "You have too many tickets. Like, this doesn't make sense." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess people really liked my stuff. I don't know. Weird." Like, I thought I was so good at lying. And then there's a kid crying in the hallway and a teacher going door to door. And she's asking, are there like extra tickets somewhere in your classroom? Because, one of my students can't find any of their tickets. They're all gone. And so my teacher immediately looks at me and looks at the student and looks at the teacher and looks back at me, takes all of my tickets and gives them to the person who I stole them from. She's like, "Look, now you don't have any tickets." And I was like, man, like, I really wanted like that, like, a little pencil or something. I was like mad. I was like, "For real, all of them?" Like, okay, damn, sucks. But I wasn't like that mad, because I was like, at the end of the day, it's a pencil. And I think that teacher was also mad that I didn't feel too bad about it. Like, I was kind of like, oh man, I got caught. And so she was like, pacing around the room like super mad, like taking down stuff off the walls and was like ripping them down. It's like, some people don't know how to respect other people's stuff, like just being really mad. And I was like, oof. Like, I wonder if everyone knows that she's mad at me. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. But I just kind of went along with my day. But yeah, that was probably like the most in trouble I got with the teacher, where it was just so obviously caught in a lie that it was just bad. But then another time, so me and my friends I think this is actually third grade. At third grade at this point, we were all kind of obsessed with like one-upping each other with like ghost stories and stuff. And thinking back at them now, my friends were so lying. But we were eating it up. We're like, oh my gosh, I have to find a better story. And we would all like ask to go to the bathroom at the same time so we could do the whole like Bloody Mary thing in the bathroom, you know what I mean? So we would literally like all meet up in the bathroom, lock the door, turn off the lights, and we would try to do it. We would just chicken out every time. But anyways, there's one friend who was an even bigger menace than I could ever be, and she just got in trouble all the time. I mean, all the time. And she would like pretend that she did, oh, I did Bloody Mary at home, and look, she scratched me. And it was like a scar that was so healed and from so long ago. I remember in kindergarten, she had a crush on this guy, and he had like a scar under his eye. And so she gave herself the same scar so that they could be like soulmates and stuff. Anyways, she was kind of loco. I told everyone that I had a dog, and I did not have a dog. And I would say, oh, I have like a miniature poodle, and he's so cute. He's like this fluffy white dog, so cute, blah blah blah. And so my friends are like all trusting. They're like, yeah, cool. Like, why would she lie about having a dog, right? Because who would lie about having a dog? That's just kind of a weird thing to lie about, no? But anyways, I did. And there was one time my mom came to pick me up from school, and my friends were all standing there, and they were asking her about the dog. And my mom looks at me like, dog? Like, what are you talking about? Like, our dog? I don't know. And I was like, I turned away from my mom and I told my friends, like, guys, our dog just died. Like, please don't mention it. She's like in denial about it. Like, just don't talk about it. It's very sensitive. And they're like, oh, okay. Shh, yeah, shh. Sorry. And my mom's like, what dog? And I was like, no, I think they're confused. Like, I think one of our other friends has a dog or something. I don't know. I don't remember what I told her. And so then, like, the next day, I told my friends, like, guys, I saw my dog's ghost on the swing, because I had, like, a little swing in the backyard. I was like, I saw his ghost, and because the swing was swinging on its own, and then I saw his ghost, like, appear and disappear, and they were all freaked out. They were like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. They're like, you swear to God. And I thought that if I crossed my fingers behind my back and went, and didn't say or yes or anything, and I just kind of ambiguously nodded and made a sound, that I wasn't lying and I wasn't actually swearing to God. And so they believed me, I think. But yeah, I never had a dog until like middle school. And then there was one time when my mom and I went to Target, and I saw this ring on the floor, and it didn't have a tag on it or anything, so it might not even have been from the store. It could have just been someone's ring, but I wanted it. And in my head, I thought I had to put it in my mouth, because that's where no one will find it, because then it wouldn't beep and no one would find it and I wouldn't get caught. But I was a chatty kid, okay? I talked all the time, and I still do. And so the fact that I wasn't talking was really weird to my mom. So we get to the car, and my mom's like, do you have something in your mouth? And I was like, making just the worst sound ever. And she's like, spit it out. What is it? And it was a ring. And she's like, you're gonna go return that right now. And I was like, no, it was in my mouth, like, they're not gonna want it. She was like, go to the counter and tell her you're sorry. So my mom makes me go up to the counter, and I spit this ring out of my mouth. So my mom makes me go back into Target. I spit the ring out of my mouth and into my hand, and then I go to give it to the cashier and say, I'm sorry for trying to steal this. And the cashier looked at me like, it's okay, and just like set it down. Yeah, I understand why my mom made me like go back in there and give it back, but that cashier literally looked at me like, girl, keep it, I don't want it, it doesn't have a tag on it. And the more I think about it, the more I think it was just someone's ring that fell on the floor, and I put it in my mouth. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go now, because there's been a dog barking for like the past 5 minutes, and I'm just trying to say goodnight. But good night, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any funny stories from when you were a kid, I would love to hear them. So let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video.